Best believe that you don't wanna tussle with them or be a fool with them. Come in the ring with them, you're never walking out again. Talk to your back on the walk back. Talk to your back.
Well, I guess we're live. What's going on? I don't know what happened there, but I mean, it's already been that kind of a night. So welcome to the filler segment. It's Thursday night. It's our favorite night of the week, other than Friday and Saturday. So I'm Dan. This is Will. We are your hosts, as per usual. And before we go any further, it is promo time. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, because we're a show by the fans for the fans. And tonight, this was your find, and you know what? I am okay with all of this. So this is what we're going into tonight. We're gonna go and pack our bags, and we're taking a trip around the 50 states and Canada for territories.
No. You gotta say it like you gotta say it like Regal and Alfred Hayes, like territories.
Oh, okay. All right, let me try that again. All right, so
pack
your bags, because we are going on a holiday through all 50 states and Canada because we are visiting wrestling territories featuring Umanga.
Not you, man. Well, maybe some of his people.
Definitely some of his people. Ain't no maybe involved in that, right? Wouldn't you say? Which is a great segue into our first territory, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Because guess what? We're gonna do something a little bit different when it comes to this. We're not just gonna, go flying off the cuff. We actually put our heads together and came up with a pretty good plan on this. A pretty good plan of attack. Because we're sitting here on the East Coast. We're going to take it out west first, as far west as we could possibly take it. And then we're going to work our way back over to our side. Excuse me. Wow. We're going to
Sam Adams.
I know. Shout out to Sammy A. But yes, we're going to go west, as far west as we possibly could take it. So you guys, if you haven't figured it out already, we are going to start with Polynesian Pro Wrestling. Huh? What more can you say about Polynesian Pro Wrestling other than, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. I don't even believe this. See, this is how off we are right now. Before we even get into Polynesian Pro Wrestling. And we're going into territories. Territories. All right, that's enough of that. All right. Territories. So we're going to start with Polynesian Pro Wrestling. As we all know, this was run by the late, great Peter Maivia. And
Thank you, Peter.
Yep. And then taken over by Leah Maivia, as everybody who's been watching Young Rock knows.
With the exception of Mark.
Because Mark is being the biggest stick in the mud ever and won't watch it, even though I know he'd like it.
Mark said he doesn't watch old Rock, so he's not going to watch new Rock.
Well, I understand. Or Kid Rock for that matter. So I think we knew that.
Right.
Again, that's a whole nother show for a whole nother day. But Polynesian Pro Wrestling, let's jump right into this,
Yeah. Had a couple different names. They were like many of the territories that we're going to cover tonight, they were all under the umbrella of the NWA through 50s, 60s. Where, we might reach back a little later than that. But Polynesian Pro started out as NWA Hawaii, 50 states big time. It was pretty much used as a go-between to make a little money coming from Japan or like Australia or something like that, because it was right in between there and LA. So a lot of guys, a lot of notables used to come through Polynesian Pro. Mr. Fuji actually started. Yeah.
Man.
Yes. And Mr. Fuji started in that.
I'm going to stop you right there, because I'm just going to say anybody on this page and who is watching who does not like Mr. Fuji, get out.
Leave.
Get out.
Now. To quote And to quote a really someone who we are a really big fan of, if you don't like Mr. Fuji, then wrestling just isn't for you.
I got to get him on the show. But yes, you're right. I don't think wrestling is going to be for you. Exactly.
Nope.
So Mr. Fuji, I mean, we can go on. Mr. Fuji, as we know.
Yeah.
King Kong Bundy. He was out there.
Don Morocco.
Yep,
young Don Morocco, too. When
the original The Rock.
Yes, the original Rock.
The original The Rock. So, yes, The Rock, Don Morocco. Savage was out there for a little bit.
Sure was.
And,
JYD,
Andre. Yep. And obviously, we'd be remiss if we didn't bring up Afa and Sika.
Yes.
That's where Manga comes in.
Yes.
Just so we're clear. But, yeah, I mean, countless names, countless, I mean, that's all they had because, you know what, really, who else was out in Hawaii?
Yeah.
I mean, the who's who of Polynesian wrestling was out there. If you were at least remotely in the general area, whether you were born there, even California, I'll throw them into the mix. You were in Hawaii at some point.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it was a stop between, Japan and LA, or Japan and just getting back to the mainland states or whatever was going on in that area. So, just another opportunity to make a couple bucks. Like I said, guys coming back from Australia or wherever other random Western European places or Eastern European places that they were in would just make that stop over there.
Yeah, I mean, and let's be honest, who the hell doesn't want to go to Hawaii?
Right.
I mean, I don't really see. I mean, I've never been there, so I really couldn't tell you, But I mean, from what I've seen and everybody who I know has been there, they've all seemed to like it.
Yeah.
But okay, well, now that we've covered the Polynesian Pro, I guess this brings us right into NWA Hawaii. Same area, because same kind of deal. And I have a list of like former champions that was there. Superstar Billy Graham.
Ah.
I mean, even though nobody really, I mean, we're kind of like, he's still a big name. Yep, January 9th, 1974. Superstar Billy Graham. Don Morocco, 78, champion. And here's a good one. Mondo Guerrero.
Oh.
In 78 and 79 became NWA Hawaii champion.
Nice.
So, I mean, see? And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up because I know we have a contingency of the bloodline through there. Tama Tonga.
Oh, yeah.
Tama Tonga. Yeah. He was champion, NWA Hawaii champion.
I feel so bad as I feel like a bad fan because I just recently found out that him and Rikishi were twins. I had no clue. I had no idea.
I'm right there with you. I mean, this is kind of the first time I've heard that as well. I mean, but those are the only names that really stand out for NWA Hawaii. I mean, Peter Maivia was crowned champion in March of 1980, and I believe that I could be wrong, and somebody can go ahead and check me on this, but I do believe that was his last title.
Could have been because he passed away in 1982.
Yeah, I believe that was his last title.
Could very well have been.
One more time, if somebody wants to confirm that with me.
It very well could have been because, like I said, he passed away in 1982, so that could have been.
Yeah, could have been, but and I mean, and again, I gotta say it again. If you had your career in Hawaii, I mean, how bad could it really have been?
Barring like a volcano eruption, I don't know,
or a sunburn.
True, hurricane maybe.
Yeah, hurricane, typhoon. I'd probably say, well, maybe a hurricane. I don't know.
Did Typhoon have a career in Hawaii? No.
I'm sorry?
I said, did Typhoon have a career in Hawaii? Did he? No, we don't have any
We're gonna have to get the stat boy on that one. You know, that job is still wide open. So you know what? Why don't we go pond jumping now that we've covered the sun and sandy beach of Hawaii, and let's just get right into it, man. We're gonna jump. We're gonna go across the Pacific Ocean.
That it is.
Go right into NWA Hollywood. And no, I don't mean Hollywood as in that guy. No. We're talking actual Hollywood, like sunshine, bright lights, big cities,
and Freddie Blassie and lots of them,
and Freddie Blassie and the Wrestlers Tour of Hollywood, according to Piper's daughter. If anybody watched the Piper doc on A&E. Teal Piper went on and said that her first time in California with her father literally brought her to Skid Row when he was wrestling out there for NWA Hollywood. And he was like, yep, I saw a woman get murdered right there, but I didn't tell on anybody because I ain't no snitch. And like he brought her to like all the bum parts. And then like keep in mind, she was 50. She was 15 at the time, and all of her friends was like, "Oh, well, how was it? You know, how was California?" And she's like, "I took the Wrestlers Tour. I didn't see no Walk of Fame,
no Hollywood sign.
The Hollywood signs everywhere. So you have to see that.
Right.
But her thing was that
by Randy Donuts or nothing like that.
That she didn't get to see like the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, but."
Right.
Let's talk about some of the alumni that was there, and I have to bring this one up just to get it out of the way because he's a legend in himself. Gene LaBelle.
Yes,
Gene LaBelle was pretty prominent in NWA Hollywood. I mean, he pretty much trained most of them, if not all. So, and you know, and outside of wrestling, we all know that he was just one bad dude, man. If Stu Hart in Calgary was known for stretching people and making people hurt and cry, grown men, then Gene LaBelle was the American version of that, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So there's that. But, you know, just looking at the list that I have, I mean, there are some names. I mean, Freddie Blassie, we've already mentioned.
Yep.
The Gentleman, Chris Adams.
Yes, Chris Adams.
Here's a good one that was a prominent figure was Dino Bravo.
Very much so, yeah, with brown hair, Dino Bravo.
Yeah, brown hair, Dino Bravo, and Chavo Classic.
Yes,
Chavo Classic, the late great Chavo Senior.
Yep.
I mean, we mentioned Piper, Luthez.
Luthez was everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Luthez will probably be up here more times than anybody.
Yeah, it might be safe to say he's probably touched every territory that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
him and his press.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you weren't working in any of these if more than one territory, I mean, did you really have a career?
No.
You
were local talent.
or enhanced talent.
The local competitor. That's who you were.
Yeah, you know, the no-name local competitor. Mil Mascaras was there.
Mil Mascaras, yeah. He was champion there.
You know, and again, Billy Graham.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Graham, who, I mean, again, you guys are going to see a lot of names out there that were that have been there. Let me see, because I know I've got Les Championships. I mean, they had the 6-man champion.
Yeah.
My favorite, yeah, I remember I highlighted this, was the NWA Beat the Champ television champion. It was originally contested at NWA LA, but then it was abandoned in 59, and then in 68 they brought it back to Hollywood Wrestling. And then up until the end in 82. But the Beat the Champ television champion.
Beat the Champ television champions. That sounds like maybe the first version of what we now know as the 24/7 championship.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what it was. That's why I highlighted it, because this was like the R-Truth Championship before the R-Truth Champion was a thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that, because we all love R-Truth, and we got to do a show just on him one day.
Yeah, we might as well do
I
just a
mean,
little cover show.
Stupid not to. Go ahead.
Dan, I got to turn my head around.
All right. Yep, we've come to that time. I wasn't even looking at the time, so it is our time for Lit of the Week, sponsored by the Infinite Banter. Go ahead.
The only curveball I'm going to throw you this season.
Okay, you got me. I don't know. Go ahead. Let's get the history.
The Hartford Yard Goats.
The Hartford Yard Goats.
Yes, New England-based Double-A affiliate of the Colorado Rockies.
Okay. I'm impressed. I knew we'd been talking about this off air about like last week about
yes.
Yeah. Hey, exactly. The Yard Goats. We were talking about off air that we're going to switch it up from going from Major League Baseball into the minor leagues, and I'm like, okay, we definitely.
Yeah, I've had this one for a while. When I found out that they were a thing, so I'm like, yo, I need to get a hat. It was disputed, it was debated, it was shunned. People still shake their head at me about it, but I mean, Yard Goats. I get excited when I get to play against them on MLB The Show, just because, like, what the fuck is a Yard Goat? Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. What the fuck is a Yard Goat?
What the fuck is a Yard Goat? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And
they play in Dunkin' Donuts Park too in Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah, I got nothing, because I have nothing on the Yard Goats. I didn't know what the hat was. I have no research. I can't look at it off Vision. So if you have anybody, please send it in. No,
because I know.
Because I'm not sure who played there. I don't know if Tulowitzki played there. I don't know if
they haven't been a thing very long.
No, I mean, clearly they haven't. If we're getting question marked on Yard Goats, so
yeah, so double A for those who aren't familiar with the minors. That's double A ball for Colorado. Don't ask me why their double A affiliate is all the way to hell over here, and they're based in Denver, but yeah, double A affiliate of the Colorado Rockies.
Colorado Rockies, man. But hey, there it is. I have no old school player of the week. I got nothing. But I mean, I don't know what else. I really don't know what else to do other than ask you about your special guest of the week, since we might as well do that since you stumped me.
So I figured, since we're doing my second favorite show, second favorite topic, I'll have my second favorite belt. Yeah, I'll have my second favorite belt join us for the show this evening.
Man, listen, and I don't think there's anything to be said about that belt that hasn't been said already that we don't already know. Other than that, it's clean. We all know the history behind that. We all know who's held it and who should have held it and who needs to hold it. But right now you're holding it, so that's the important part. And it's
been a couple guys. Yeah. We've even a couple guys who we've talked about already tonight have had a version of said title here.
Oh man, it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. I mean,
thank you.
I have big gold in the back, but I'm using that for my second gig for trivia. Nice. So everybody can take pictures of that. I'll do a little shameless self promotion at the end of the show. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful belt, man. Brand new belt. When you got it, I think obviously he was way more excited than I would be just seeing it.
and because I had to reorder it. I don't know where it was. It got lost on a ship or something.
Probably got lost in like Malaysia or something, or wherever the hell it was coming from. But man, clean belt, man. You know, and we definitely got to do a belt show one day where we just talk about titles. I mean, that's coming soon. But we're still going to be talking about
territories.
Back to the lesson at hand. So we're gonna go from NW Hollywood to. I'm just gonna get this one out of the way, just because you know this is the only out of country, but still is a territory. We're going with Maple Leaf Wrestling. Oh yes,
yeah. This one was pretty intriguing to me. I learned a lot when I was kind of digging for stuff. Everyone's least favorite character from a big part of our childhood, Mr. Jack Tunney himself, former promoter, Maple Leaf Wrestling,
president of the WWE, former president.
Yes, and Mr. Therefore himself.
Therefore, I mean, shout out to Mark Jolliffe because that was his boy, Jack Tunney.
That was his man. Jack Tunney was his guy. Yeah, Maple Leaf Wrestling we kind of have them to thank for Bruno Sammartino.
Yes, we do.
If you really want to think about it, his two matches he had there with Buddy Rogers and Lou Thesz kind of put him in that position, you know, to gain the trust of Vince Sr. of being the guy for his promotion, and we all see how that turned out. So I really think, you know, the big population, big Italian population in that area kind of helped, and you know them being so close to New York, Toronto, New York, really aren't that far apart from each other. So him being that close and catching the eye of the promoter that ended up making him who he was, really kind of started with Maple Leaf Wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, and it was run. Maple Leaf Wrestling was around for a good minute. You know, all things considering, it was till 80. I mean, what was it? 86.
86, yeah, 80s, 85, 86.
Yep, it defunct in 86, and that's. I mean, it was funded by both the NWA from the early 40s or the late 40s to 84 when the WWF took over. F, not E. And you know, then when Jack Tunney became president or whatever the hell you want to call him, but you know, we got to talk about who else was there. I mean, obviously their big name coming out of there was Bruno, but if we want to go, you know, go number 2, Flair was around,
Another guy who's probably hit every territory we're going to talk about.
Yeah, he'll be there. And one name that really jumped out at me when I was looking at their featured workers, Fritz Von Erich.
Really? In Toronto?
Fritz Von Erich was in Toronto for a good minute. So I mean, that when I saw that, I had to do a double take. I'm like, are you sure? Fritz Von Erich, Mr. Texas himself, Fritz Von Erich,
right,
was in Canada.
Seriously.
I mean, you know, that came as a shock to me. So,
yeah.
But you know what? It was okay. It was okay that I saw that, along with obviously we said Ric Flair, but Andre when he did his Canadian tour, because we all know that he was in Montreal for a little while.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, it was only a matter of time, you know, when he was there, that it was like during the territory days before Vince got a hold of him, that he was in Toronto. So, you know, I mean, once again, you guys are going to be hearing many names on, you know, repeated throughout this, like the Flairs, the Andres, and, you know, countless others. But Fritz Von Erich was the one that stood out to me.
And Maple Leaf Garden was kind of like the MSG up there.
It really is. I mean, you got to figure, hockey's their sport, and who plays there? I mean,
Right.
I don't watch hockey much other than the Bruins every now and again, but I do know that the Toronto Maple Leafs played in
Maple Leaf Yard.
which is Canada's equivalent to Madison
To
Square.
Madison Square, yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, now I don't know if you can even call that anymore. Now the new equivalent is what? Skydome?
Probably no.
No, not even that.
It's not even Skydome. It's like Rogers Center now.
It will always be Skydome to me, damn it. I don't give a fuck what they call it. That'd be like changing Wrigley Field's name.
Hey. Be
Yeah,
customer
exactly.
service.
If
Do
they
not
ever
customer-
do that, dude, I will fly to Chicago myself.
Do not. First off, you might want to take somebody with you that knows where they're going. Secondly, we're not gonna cuss in church.
No,
We're not changing. We're
I
not changing
apologize.
Wrigley Field's name. We're not cussing in church. No.
Or
That's
rename.
not-
All right, fine. Renaming Fenway. All right, better.
That I
Don't
don't
do
really
that.
give two shits about. You can rename Fenway for all I give a damn.
Don't do that.
You can name it Babe Ruth Ballpark for all I care.
Ballpark. But yeah, Maple Leaf Wrestling. I mean, they were a huge player in Canada.
Yeah.
Probably behind Stu Hart's Stampede.
Shout out Jack Tunney. He was a real star of the show. Let's not
He really was,
play. Let's not play. If it wasn't for Maple Leaf Wrestling, we would not have had Jack Tunney.
No, you're right.
Seriously.
Jack Tunney, rest in peace. Therefore, we're going to take a drink for you. Like that?
That one was that was good.
Therefore. All right. So now that we've visited Toronto, Canada, I'm going to do this every time we
switch territories.
We're going to switch territories.
We went like all the way out of direction too, because Toronto is Eastern Canada.
I know. It's only because I wanted to leave the country first.
Right.
Since we went to Hawaii, for the two territories, and then we went to Hollywood. And you know what? Going to Toronto, I am going to move down, and we're going to go Central States Wrestling.
Oh,
Central States Wrestling. This is your stomping ground.
Arthur's gonna love the name I'm dropping that came out of this territory here.
Let's hear it.
Central States Wrestling is where Vince McMahon found Slick.
That's right. He did find the Doctor style there.
Central States Wrestling out of Kansas City, I believe. They
Yep.
worked Kansas City, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, I think Ohio, maybe a little bit of Ohio.
Yeah, it's like Southern Ohio.
Southern Ohio, Northern Kentucky, almost.
Yep.
Yeah, but Slick started. I don't think he started out there, but he from Central States Wrestling.
Yeah, he's from I know he's from Texas, but he got his start there.
Yep.
So
And,
I remember
he was there with his dad.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Slick's father was also wrestling in Central States Wrestling.
He
Harley
was.
Race was another one from Central States territory. He I think he had a little dispute or something like that with the title, and caused him to kind of like break away from the NWA, or there was a financial dispute with him and Bob Geigel or something along those lines. But I know that Harley Race was heavily involved with Central States Wrestling through their I guess their better years, because they were around until like the 80s, I guess.
Okay. That's good to know. But guess what? Now that we've covered a few territories, it's about that time that we got to sit down for a few minutes, collect our thoughts, because I'm kind of jet lagged, and the Hartford Yard Goats kind of threw me way the hell off my game because I did not expect that.
Almost like a layover, huh?
I gotta give you props for that. And we got to we're gonna go to the event center with Lord Alfred Hayes.
Going back
What's
to the
going
event
on,
center.
Your Lordship?
everyone. This is special report. We are now just 2 weeks away. Heralded collision between the proud, regal Jerry Lawler going against the pugilistic peasant from Bonnie, Scotland, Rowdy Roddy Piper. A war of words erupted between the loquacious King Lawler and the glib-of-tongue commoner Roderick Piper some weeks ago, when the legendary Scot had the sheer audacity to challenge our beloved king in this ilk.
This is the King's Court, not to be confused with that ancient relic from Jurassic Park, Piper's Pit. Do you remember Piper's Pit?
Jurassic Park was the biggest film ever. I'll take that compliment.
Rowdy Roddy Piper, the guy with the dress. Let me just tell you a little bit about Rowdy Roddy Piper. You see, when Roddy Piper was born, his father wanted a boy and his mother wanted a girl, and they were both satisfied, if you know what I mean.
Everybody knows it's a kilt. It ain't no dress.
His movies are so bad that when they play at the drive-in, people ask for their gas money back.
You called a bunch of kids in the hospital for sick children in Toronto. You go there and you call them brats?
You talk about those little sick children in a hospital up in Toronto, Canada. I'll send you up there to visit them permanently.
Sure, you want to fight, Roddy Piper? Okay, big time. You done got it.
Piper claims to be making this one-time only return to the ring as a crusade to defend the honor of the sick children of Toronto. Now, while I find the man himself a repugnant, tasteless individual, I am forced to admit he has found a worthy cause, even going as far as to donate a portion of his match purse. By the way, if you would like to join him with a donation to this charitable institution, here is the address. The Hospital for Sick Children Foundation, Post Office Box 3939, Station A, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, M5W1G8. Now, let us hear the latest comment from the King and the Rowdy One.
You know, God takes care of fools and babies. Been taking care of me my whole life. Jerry the King Lawler, I'm not sure how you made it this far with the mouth you got and the little backing up you do with it. But come Father's Day, you're going to have to back it up big time here now. Because the talking's over as far as I'm concerned. It's time to fight. You won't believe me. He won't be running back to the dressing room on some kind of scam. I come to fight, and I ain't leaving till the fight's done. Now, you want to understand something, Jerry Lawler. These kids don't need us. They got more courage in their little nail than you do in your whole nasty body. But they need some money to continue on with life. Please, help those kids out. And as for the fight, I'll be fighting come Father's Day night. You can all be fathers and join me in the donations. When it comes to the fight itself, though, the fight will be so nasty and furious and ugly that Stephen King himself won't want to appear.
Next week on the King's Court, you're not going to believe this, but I am going to have as my guest, well, I'll give you a little hint. I don't want to say his name right now because actually it kind of sticks in my throat to say his name. The guy that I'm going to have as my guest next week is from Scotland. Does that give you a clue? Huh? He wears a dress. Does that tell you anything? And he wears a T-shirt with the word Hot Rod on it. He's going to be my...
All right, we are back. We are back from the event center. Thank you, Your Lordship, for all of that. That was awfully entertaining. And I want everybody to, make sure you got that address down and send that their money to the sick kids in Canada.
Those sick kids are probably 50 years old by now.
Who cares? They were sick kids at one point. I'm just kidding. No, we're not doing that. And I do like how they use like letters in their zip code. But, you know, thank you, Lord Alfred Hayes. We may hear from you or Sean Mooney next week. I don't know. I have to check the schedule. But there's another one. Rest in peace, Lord Alfred. Lord Alfred was the man, and he has a permanent spot right here on the filler segment.
Yeah, Lord Alfred was my guy.
Well, he was my guy too. I mean, one day I'm gonna throw it up on here, and before we get out of here and do shout outs, just one day you're gonna hear it. Promotional considerations paid for by the following.
I heard it on Friday and I marked out.
Right?
I played it on SmackDown Friday and I lost my shit.
I heard it too. I didn't. I actually caught it online somewhere. Somebody posted it, and
man, it was hilarious, man.
Because Friday, I closed Friday night, so SmackDown is kind of like I don't even know what's going on there anymore. But
nothing.
You know, I digress.
Jimmy Uso's back.
What's that? Yeah, I saw that. I saw Jimmy Uso.
Leave my baby alone. It was Jay Uso.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Jay Uso.
She likes Jay Uso.
All right. Great. Well, that's good, man. I mean, you got to teach him young. I know. I told you, my son thinks he's John Cena, old Luther.
Just fine.
You know, that's okay. It's okay.
Perfectly fine.
That's perfectly. You're right. It's perfectly fine. He's 11 years old, and John Cena can be his hero.
That's right.
I mean, come on. I'm sure
he's R-Truth's hero, and R-Truth is 50-something years old.
That's right, man. I mean, he liked him ever since he was little. He said so. I mean, you know. But once again, we are talking territories, and you know, now that we finished our layover near O'Hare, you know, I mean, because everybody takes a layover there. Unfortunately, we don't have the smell of deep dish pizza, you know, to give to you, but we can use our imagination. Because the only 2 times within the past 10 years that I flew and had a pit stop at O'Hare, that's all I wanted. I want a damn deep dish pizza. I don't give a shit where it's from. I am getting one. I don't care.
Please give a shit where it's from.
Well, when you're in the airport, you kind of have no choice. If I've never been to actual Chicago, we've had this conversation before. Because if I went to actual Chicago, number one, I'd be questioning whether I'd be sitting right here in this chair right at this second. But because I probably go to the wrong area and not even know it.
Yeah, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's good. I'm glad to see that. And then, you know, I might have to hit up Mark Jollif's spot, the Wiener Circle. And yeah, because the first thing I'd want is the best deep dish pizza in Chicago.
Yep.
Before I go on to my wrestling matches and everything. So, I mean, I don't know where those spots are. I know I got you, I got Mark, I got Ms. Bell, who will probably tell me. So, and anybody else, and I don't know, maybe even Boss Man Miles might tell me, but I am a big pizza mark, and if I get a good deep dish pizza, I am there. That's it. And that's it, because we don't get that out here. We get crappy cardboard, fold it your damn self, roll it up, eat it pizza. We don't have deep dish, and that makes me sad. And that is our food. That is our food review of the week right there of the deep dish picture.
I'm sorry, you're so deprived.
Pizza. So moving on, we're going to go to one of my personal favorite places, and we're going ICW, International Championship Wrestling. Now, why is this my personal favorite? Because it was run by Angelo Poffo. And if you don't know who Angelo Poffo is, I really don't know if wrestling is for you. That's right. He gave us the legendary, the one, the only Lanny Poffo.
Leaping Lanny Poffo.
The genius.
Frisbees and poems for everybody.
Poems for everybody and cartwheels in the ring.
Cartwheels and all of that. He's the first person I saw do a moonsault.
Yeah?
Me personally, yes, he was the first person I saw
I
do a
was gonna
moonsault.
say, if you were gonna say cartwheel, I was gonna raise you a Bam Bam Bigelow because that was the
Oh
first
no,
guy I see-
yeah, Bam Bam was the first one I saw do a cartwheel. But yeah, first person I saw do a moonsault type of maneuver was Leaping Lanny.
Leaping Lanny, not the genius. We
Not
want
the genius. No, we're talking about Leaping Lanny Poffo with frisbees and poems and Barry Horowitz's ring jacket, I think it was at one point. But yes,
That's
they
right.
yeah, they were out of what, Louisville,
Louisville, Kentucky, yes, or Lexington,
Lexington,
not Louisville.
Okay,
But obviously, we know of the legendary Leaping Lanny and some guy named Randy.
yeah,
Whatever happened to him?
Some dude that used to play baseball that turned out to be a pretty okay pro wrestler.
He used to play for the Reds in their farm system at some
Yeah.
point, and I mean, I don't know,
He turned out to be okay.
he did all right for himself.
Yeah, had a really good match at some event called WrestleMania 3.
He's held numerous titles. He was even a king.
He was.
He was a king.
Yep,
And he
safe to
had
say he
the
did okay.
most distinctive voice in professional wrestling history. Yeah,
Sure did. If you did not watch wrestling, you still knew who Macho
you
Man
still
was.
knew. I mean that was the promotion that gave us. I mean, now that we've gotten all the bullshit aside, that was a promotion that gave us the Macho Man. To me, the greatest of all, my goat, mine. Because you know what? Even without the other guy in the Federation, if they would have given it to him, he would have ran with it. I don't care. I said, we would have never had the legendary Bonesaw. Got you for 3 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man, the theater markout moments, we wouldn't have that if it wasn't for International Championship Wrestling. And also, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up that we wouldn't get, if it wasn't for that promotion, we wouldn't have had the lovely Miss Elizabeth.
Sure would not have.
No, she was Charlie Caruso before Charlie Caruso was a thing.
Yes, she was the first Kayla, the first Dasha.
She was the first
Charlie. She was
the first Charlie, and I mean, and then I'll even take it a step further. I mean, she was the first, I guess you could say, Zelina Vega at this point, female valet.
Yeah,
like the one that was really pushed even before Missy Hyatt, before Baby Doll. It was
before Sherry stopped wrestling and became a manager.
Yeah, before the Queen, Sensational Sherry.
Yep.
So
she was ahead of her time with that one.
So Angelo Poffo was a great athlete in his right. I mean, when we're talking outside of wrestling here, I mean, didn't he hold like the world record for like sit-ups?
Yep.
Or does he still?
I don't know, but I think at the time it was like 8,000 and some change. I don't know why
8,000 and change. I mean, I get winded. I'm a fat ass, so I get winded after doing 10. All right, I'm done.
He did like 8,000 or something ridiculous like that.
In a row?
I don't. It was maybe he was timed but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've always wondered. It was like, was it in a row? Because it's like there's no way.
Nah, it can't be.
No. I mean, I'd be for the rest of my life. I'd be laying down. I couldn't do it because sitting up would be somebody would have to pick me up and just and then walking afterwards. Can you imagine? That just shows up. Even if you stopped. Took breaks and then did the rest of them. Could you imagine just getting up and having to walk after that?
No,
that just proves how tough he was.
Yeah, seriously. They did.
And then you have to be tough to be the Macho Man's dad.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't that intense with his dad because he knew his dad was probably like the only person on the face of the planet that could legitimately fuck him up. So. Maybe he wasn't as intense.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna outside of the Poffos, I'm gonna give you a few other names that jumped out at us. The recently inducted into the Legends wing of the Hall of Fame from the Legends Committee, Pistol Pez Watley.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Ox Baker.
Mm-hmm. The inventor of the heart punch, or.
Yep. the one-man gang who came out as Crusher Broomfield in that promotion.
Nice.
The one-man gang.
That one got away from me.
Or Akeem. That was my boy right there. But Bob Orton. Bob Orton.
Which Bob Orton? Junior, senior?
Junior.
Okay.
Bob Orton Jr. and what? Ryan Suter, this one's for you.
Oh, boy.
I think you know where I'm going with this.
I don't.
My guy, your guy, even Ryan Suter, your guy too, rugged Ronnie Garvin.
Yes.
Rugged Ronnie.
Rugged Ronnie came through International Championship Wrestling. What was that, in the 70s?
Yep. He came through and you know, the rest is history. I know that they had some notable matches that they had. You know, they had a TV tournament. It was a single elimination match to win the first ever ICW television championship. And I'm just going to go with the semifinals into the final. So the 1 seed versus the 4 seed. The 1 seed, Bob Roop. Yeah. And then
the glorious Bobby Roop.
Bob Roop.
The glorious Bobby Roop.
Yes, the glorious Bobby Roop. Bob Roop. And then he was matched up against the number 4 seed known as, wait for it, the Best. That was his name. The Best.
Wow. That sounds like a Rude versus Ziggler match right there too.
It really is. And Bobby and Bob Roop with a glorious DDT moves on to the final to meet the winner of the number 2 seed, Pistol Pez Watley, and the Macho Man, the number 3 seed.
Ooh.
Savage won.
Underdog.
Moving on that night. And the final was Randy Savage against Bob Roop. Do I really have to tell you who won that match?
I'm guessing that Savage didn't win that match.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Didn't count the lights for the glorious Robert Roop.
Yeah, the Robert Roop. But some notable. I had to throw that out there just because of the names. The Best. I was like, the Best.
Right. Okay.
You got to have a sack.
A sack. Yes, you do. And that be it. Like, that's it. Right. Cher, Prince, Madonna, the Best. What?
The Best.
Reject.
Other wrestlers that worked for him. Was Boris Malenko.
Okay.
You know, daddy to some guy named Dean.
Yep. Had a new 10 or 15 different holds or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just notable. Ernie Ladd.
Mm-hmm.
Ernie Ladd. I'm
gonna mention him when we were talking about Central States too.
Right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go kind of a little off track here, and I'm gonna say the Great Kabuki. He was the originator of the Asian Mist.
The Green Mist.
The Mist. They said it's called the Asian Mist back then, but it is the Mist.
Green Mist. We're not trying to get canceled.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. Rip Roberts was there.
Okay. You said Rip Roberts or Rip Hawk?
Rip, R.I.P.
Oh, I thought you said Rip Hawk.
Oh, but just to put this out there, remember how I said Rugged Ronnie was there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what he was known as? He wasn't Rugged Ronnie.
He wasn't gorgeous Ronnie.
No, he was the original one-man gang.
The one-man gang, Ronnie Garvin.
The one-man gang Garvin.
Oh wow.
And they also had this. Shout out to Mario Bernal on this one because this guy out supersedes you because you know who he had on his roster? Super duper Mario. I swear to God, super duper. So,
oh wow.
So there you go.
There you go.
Macho
Man versus Super Duper. Lanny Poffo versus Super Duper Mario
versus the Best in a 3-way
in a triangle death match.
But do you know the Best was also Bob Roop, so he did a 2 for that night.
Oh, nice.
He did a 2 for, so you know he had to have been masked. So I mean, those are the notables for singles wrestlers. They had their own Samoans but they were the Great Tio and Chief Tapu.
Okay. Sounds like off-brand cereal, but
It really does. And then, this one cracked me up, all right? The Convertible Blondes, which was
they wrestle in toupees or something.
This was a faction. They were called in ICW. They were called the Convertible Blondes, and it was Rip Rogers, Gary Royal, and wait for it,
Sputnik Monroe.
Pez Watley.
Pistol Pez Watley is a blonde. Ugh.
I know.
Yikes.
I remember him being enhancement talent in the WWE.
Yeah, he was older then though,
and he never had hair. Like, and if he did, it wasn't much.
No.
And just some notable title holders. Leapin' Lanny was the ICW Southeastern Heavyweight Champion.
Okay.
The last champion was Paul Christie. Who the hell knows who he is? And the ICW Southeastern's tag team champions were Bob Roop
and the best.
That's right, the best, aka the best, and
was that his teammate?
Big Boy Williams.
All right.
Big right. And on that note, fellas, we're gonna.
Cool.
On that note, we're gonna go ahead and move to the USWA. I remember seeing this on ESPN.
Yeah,
like back in the day. This was
way back.
This was my jam here, and it was owned by Jerry Jarrett and Fritz Von Erich, and later on Kevin Von Erich took over until 1990, and then Lawler picked it up in 97. The Kang. But I remember seeing them on ESPN like way back in the day. Now you want to talk about a roster of names that'll jump out at you. I mean, I'll go ahead. Stan Lane, Sabu, Sapphire. Sapphire was there.
Something else a lot of people don't know about the USWA.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get. I mean, this one from what I saw during my research was this one had the most names of anybody that I've seen. I mean, I could be wrong on this. I might have to go through my notes again. But if not for the USWA, we don't get the Nation of Domination. No, we do not. We do not. I mean,
we don't get JC Ice and Wolfie D, who were actually a tag team in USWA. They actually competed. We don't get D'Lo Brown.
No.
We don't get Clarence Mason.
Wait a minute. D'Lo Brown, that would be the University of Maine's own D'Lo Brown.
Yeah, Chicago's own D'Lo Brown.
Chicago's own, yep. I mean, Kevin and Kerry were there.
Yep.
Who else?
Yeah, USWA, oh, man, you could do this one. It was a
brick house bound. And how about my boy right here, the Gigolo, Jimmy Del Rey.
Jimmy Del Rey. The Gigolo, Jimmy Del Rey.
Terry Gordon's out there. I mean,
worst dancer ever. Yeah. Yeah, man. USWA was. Oh yeah, Iceman King Parsons was in USWA.
Yeah, King Parsons was out there. Iceman, and
wasn't Steve Williams there for a little bit too? Dr. Death.
Dr. Death, yes, he was. Dr. Death was there for a while, and everybody's favorite, one half of everybody's favorite 80s tag team was Marty Jannetty.
Yes.
And the Birdman himself, Coco Beware. Coco, shout out to him. I was a big
Coco fan when I was a kid, man.
Billy Jack Haynes. I mean, I could go on. I mean, Foley there as Cactus Jack Manson.
Yes, early.
That's
Still
right.
Still had teeth and an ear.
Michael Francis Foley.
Had 2 full ears at USWA.
Right. I mean, Funk, the Young Bloods. Stone Cold was out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot of people out there. Anybody whose name was Moondog was there.
Spot, Rex, was only 4 of them? It was 3 or 4. I know Spot, Rex.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spot, Rex. Who else? You got to think dog names. So Spot, Rex. Actually, no.
Moondog, Fido.
No, close.
Is that Moondog
Actual
Fido?
Spot. It's
Uh,
Rex.
Rex.
Spike.
Spike. Okay.
Cujo.
It's a Spike. Moondog Cujo.
Cujo.
Okay.
Fifi. And then the one that isn't a dog's name is Moondog Splat.
He must have been the big one.
That was the Lance Von Erich of the whole Moondog family. I'm assuming. And you know what? Super Mario was there, not Super Duper.
Just regular Super.
Yes, just regular Super Mario. So I mean, Luigi wasn't there, so I guess we're okay. I mean, I'm trying to see Reno Riggins. I remember him.
I do remember Reno Riggins. He was an enhancement talent guy.
He was. Let's see, Pat Tanaka.
Ooh,
That's another one
Another
that,
good one.
that
Yeah.
nobody talks about.
no, he doesn't get mentioned enough.
No, I mean, and he's been everywhere.
Yes, he has. Get that man his flowers today.
Yeah, please, everybody, if you're watching, give Pat Tanaka his flowers. So, all right, we're gonna get out of here because we're kind of running short on time, and I'm gonna go through these next few territories while we're at it. We got the IWF, which is right here in Reading, so we have to take a quick flight to New England. So we're gonna go Reading, Massachusetts, right here.
Reading Mass. Yes, sir. That was Killer Kowalski,
That
wasn't
was
it?
Killer Kowalski.
Killer Kowalski.
And, does anybody know the big name that came out of there?
China.
I don't know.
China.
China, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And H came
And-
out of
Triple H. Since we're doing the whole church race. Triple H, and then also Robert Backlund.
yeah.
Bob Backlund,
Bob Backlund.
he was prominent there. Let's see. Because we got to. I'm trying. Jim Duggan Jr. James Duggan Jr. Bill Eady.
Junior.
Bill Eady was there.
Bill Eady Axe.
Axe. Yep. And Fatu. Solofa. Sorry, I suck. Solofa Fatu. That's the original Fatu. That would be Rikishi. And let's see. Oh, my boy was there too. Another one of my boys. Hercules.
Yeah, he was. Hercules did start at IWF. I don't know if he started there, but he did come through there.
I'm talking about people who've been going through there. I mean, Hellwig was there. We all know who he is.
Uh-huh.
But he wasn't the ultimate yet. He was the dingo.
He was the dingo.
Because I remember hearing that when I was younger. Wasn't he the dingo warrior? And I'm like, sure. And then one of your favorites right here, Mr. Hughes.
Really now?
Curtis Hughes. He's been
Curtis
everywhere,
Hughes.
man.
Yeah, he has.
Curtis Hughes. I like
Yes,
him.
he has. Yeah, me too.
He don't say much, which is good.
But when they asked him to, it was kind of awkward because I don't think he said much in WCW.
I know, because you just kind of looked at him. I remember when he was with Jericho.
I was watching an old promo of his from like on an old episode of Superstars, and it just didn't sound right. Why are you talking? Stop talking. Just stop talking.
Let's see. Michael Jones. You know who he is, right?
Yes, Michael Soul Train Jones, a.k.a. Virgil.
Virgil. Let's see. Nikolai. Leap Atlanti. Snuka was there. Let's see. I'm going through all of these, man. I mean,
Killer Kowalski had a nice.
Ooh, here's a good one. Here's a good one who was through there. Merced Solis, a.k.a. Chico.
Oh, really?
Chico was there.
Well, I guess you got to make your way through there if you're on your way to New York, you know.
Yeah, you got it. Chico, let's see. H was there. Let me look at the females. Yep. Oh, China was there, known as Joni Lee. Not China, but Joni Lee. And they even had midget wrestlers there. The Haiti Kid was there.
You know, it was the 80s if they had little people.
Yeah, they still do, man. And the Bushwhackers were there. Let's see.
Were they the sheep herders there, or were they the Bushwhackers?
No, they were the Bushwhackers.
Okay.
Oh, how about this? Here's a good one. Another tag team that doesn't get mentioned enough over there. I mean, what they were the Eliminators, and they featured John Cronus and Boston's own Barry Saturn.
Barry Saturn, yeah.
Yep. He's still living in Boston, from what I understand. So
Okay, I forgot he was.
I don't know how good he's doing because the last time
Yeah, it was pretty
he
bad.
wasn't doing too good. But he's doing. If he's doing good, big up to you, man. So you know what? And obviously, Killer Kowalski. Is there anything else we need to say about him that hasn't been said already?
No.
I mean, he's trained some of the best. I mean, he gave H his name, not the one he has now.
He gave him Terrorizing.
He gave him Terrorizing, and you know how he did it, though, right?
Can't all be perfect.
No, he's like, because he was supposed to be the Terrorizer, Triple H, and he was like, I don't like it. Can we do something else with it? And he wrote the name on a pizza box. So he took like a marker and he drew a line right in between Terrorizing. Yep, there it is, Terrorizing.
And Kevin Nash loved it from day one.
Yes, exactly. So now that we've left Reading, Massachusetts, we're gonna go to the Herb Abrams promotion, the UWF.
Did you see the dark side of the ring on this? Did you see the dark side of the ring on this one?
Oh, who didn't see that? This to me, this was the best episode of Dark Side of the Ring. Shyla loves this episode because at the end where he said it with such conviction, he went out doing the thing that he liked to do, cocaine and hookers. Like,
okay, Herb.
I know. I was like, okay, all right.
Right.
I mean, at one point, they signed Andre the Giant for all of what, like an episode and a half?
Yeah, something. Wasn't that toward the end?
Yep, it was right towards the end, and then Vince called him back, and he was like, nah, man, you stay.
Yeah, I didn't even know who Herb Abrams was until that episode of Dark Side of the Ring. Like when I, to find out that part first before I find out, like all of the people that he did have on his roster and what came of that, it was kind of weird, kind of backwards, but interesting nonetheless.
All right, yeah. So notable superstars: Billy Jack Haynes, Bob Orton Jr., B. Brian Blair, Cactus Jack, Colonel De Beers, the legendary Dan Spivey. I like him. I like him. Waylon Mercy.
Waylon Mercy, yeah.
Yep. Don Morocco. Let's see. Ivan Koloff, Patera, Orndorff, and Dr. Death. And let's see. Bruno and Captain Lou were commentators.
Commentators, yeah. Pretty sure Captain Lou probably had a couple guys he was managing as well.
I mean, and with the whole Andre thing, after Andre was on there, that they temporarily had the Honky Tonk Man and Rick Rude on camera, but Vince got smart through cease and desist on them, and but the Honky Tonk Man later would tell everybody that the check that was written to him by Herb Abrams, guess what?
It bounced.
It bounced big time. But he did get reimbursed by the New York Athletic Commission, so he can't be too upset. I mean, he had to get all that Just for Men hair dye to keep him looking blacker than the Ace of Spades.
Seriously.
Oh, and Louis Spicoli, we all remember him.
Yeah.
His wannabe entrance into the NWO, which never happened.
Such promise, that kid.
Yeah, he really did, but that was it, But again, that's a whole nother show for a whole nother day.
All right. Let's put the bow on this one.
I was about to say, because we're going to go right. We're going right to where you want to be.
Yep. So basically, everybody, we've said all of that to say this.
Yep. All of this, and this will end our journey through the territories. Capital Wrestling.
Capital Wrestling Corporation.
Capital Wrestling Corporation, which was run by
Vincent J. McMahon. Meek Mahan. Meek
Mahan. That's right. It was
Wrestling Corporation.
Yep, it was incorporated or founded. Let me get my notes back. It was founded in Massachusetts. At the beginning, it was I just saw it. Damn it. Keep going too damn fast. It was not in Reading, Mass, but I just saw this bullshit. Come on, man. See what happens when you're kind of scrolling through everything. Yep, it was just in
Right.
Massachusetts. It doesn't say where. But it was originally incorporated February 21, 1980 in Massachusetts, but then effectively moved to Greenwich, Connecticut. I don't care. It'll always be Greenwich to me, damn it. From the mean streets.
Yes.
But this would be this Capital Wrestling would lay the foundation for what we now known as the WWE. So there it is. You know, I mean, he had Madison Square Garden was where it all went down.
every single marquee matchup. Bruno holding his title for 7 years, which is still unheard of. I don't really understand why he had to hold it for 7 years, but you know that's what it was. But the trip we kind of took you guys on kind of has I don't know how I want to describe the ending to it, because we just went through a handful of territories and they were all pretty much brought to an end by one man. By
And
one
it wasn't
guy.
anybody we mentioned.
It was not anybody, no, not a former promoter of any of these territories, not a former talent or champion.
He was just somebody who inherited it.
Vince
Long and short.
McMahon, a lot of you may already know, but Vince McMahon is the reason why the territories don't exist. And he did it without even physically being present to get his talent, to build what we've been fans of for the last, most of us, 30 years, 35 years.
Most of us lifetime.
Yeah, 30, 35 years. Let's just put it in that age range. We're not trying to
Age range. Okay. I know Keontae's the only one who would probably be lifetime.
Right. And Baby J, wherever he's at.
Baby J, wherever you're at.
Yeah. So but yeah, man, Vince kind of put the end to the territory days by going and spending his money and going to get talent from just about every place that we've named. He went and got a fake president from Canada. He got my favorite manager ever from the middle of nowhere in the Midwest.
And he got quite possibly the greatest entertainer of all time in the Macho Man.
That's right.
I mean, he
out of his
got
own
them all,
backyard.
man. He knew how to fish. I mean, obviously, we had to leave out AWA because they were established.
Yeah, but
we were going lesser known.
Right. Because if
nothing
you're going
that
to talk
was really
about
put out
AWA, he pretty much got hit. The golden era, Vince's boom, pretty much came out of the ABA. Mean Gene, Bobby Heenan, that other guy. So he pretty much got his max contracts, if you want to put it into a different kind of sports terminology. He got his max contract guys, his star players from Verne Gagne, and he rounded out his roster with his role players from everybody else and struck gold with, finding Mach and pretty much a few other guys too.
A few other guys, not just Macho. You're right. I mean, a few other.
Perfect from AWA when he got Rick Rude from AWA.
Anybody who was in Minnesota, basically, he pulled him over. I mean, you can't. I mean, AWA. We left that out because we all know. I mean, we might just have to do a whole episode on that.
Yeah, them Mid-Atlantic and Georgia Championship and
Crockett.
WCCW. Those are, we didn't want to touch on those because a lot of people knew about those already. We know
like the Carolinas. Everybody knew about all that.
Yeah, we know about Crockett.
We were kind of degging into uncharted waters, if you will.
Yeah.
Just honorable mention. I'd have to say Portland.
Yeah.
I got to give a shout out to D Lillard out there. He's a Raider fan too. So.
All-Star Wrestling out of Vancouver that gave us Earthquake, Stampede. We all know, that was another one that we didn't really have to touch on. No, we didn't. We didn't really I wanted to kind of get into NWA Detroit, but it really wasn't much to get into.
Not much. I mean, I looked into that too, and I was like, see if I can throw in something new there with your list.
Right.
But, I mean,
Yeah,
your list was pretty solid,
that.
man. It was solid. I mean, look, we're already right where we need to be, and so you know what? I mean, I'm glad everybody took this little flight around the country into the territories, the lesser known territories of professional wrestling. So it is time for shout outs. I'm gonna go last. So if you got any go right ahead.
Non-wrestling related, but since we are football fans, I want to shout out a young man who I've known his entire life, busted his ass from the time he was 6 years old, playing for the High Ridge Chargers on the north side of Chicago, coming through, playing at Evanston Township High School, going to Michigan State. His kid's name is Naquan Jones. He just signed a contract with the Tennessee Titans, went undrafted, but he signed a rookie free agency deal with the Tennessee Titans. So he's down in Nashville getting ready to get to work. His dad and I were teammates playing basketball growing up in middle school. Just really proud of the kid, really happy for him and the family, and I hope he really does well. If I see him on that week 1 roster, I'm definitely gonna have to get me a jersey because, I've known the kid. Yeah, I've known the kid his entire life, man. I just want to be a part of the whole, continue to be a part of the support system because we come from.
Hey man, if you were there from day one, man, you have to.
I'm not gonna say that I was there. Like I've known him for that long. Like,
I mean, come on.
I've known him for that long. I'm not gonna say that his dad and I were like closer.
No, I'm not saying all that.
I've known the kid, since he was a little dude. And I'm just really happy for him. I'm really proud of him, and I'm pulling for him. So shout out Naquan.
All right, Naquan. Big ups to you, man. Congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment that not many people can, sit there and write home about. So, big ups to you. That's good. So I'm going to get into my shout out, which is also non-wrestling related. And I got to give a shout out to my other boss at my new gig, my boss, Rick, WRIK Entertainment right here over in Providence, based out of, not Providence, but North Smithfield, Rhode Island. He has me running around doing music bingo, doing trivia, doing karaoke. Even though some of the places that he sent me to karaoke, one of it was kind of questionable. I don't want to go there anymore, and I'm not going to get into that because no. All I'm saying is no. But it's easy money. I mean, I get paid cash in hand. I get out. I get in. I set up, break down, go home. I don't haul anything. I'm cool with that. And I've got a gig on Saturday night now that's permanently mine. My debut flying solo without the training wheels was last Saturday over at St. Joe's Veteran Association over in fabulous Woonsocket, Rhode Island. And we packed the house because when I was there for training for 2 weeks, it was like 10, 15 people. I get in there that first night, man. With COVID restrictions and everything still there until the end of the month here in Rhode Island.
Oh.
We totally knocked it out of the park right there. I mean, we got it was standing room only. The bartender bought me a drink because she bought me a drink. She was like, you know what? You brought in more tips than I've seen in a couple months. So this one's for you. And I've been coming out and supporting me. And then now my new gig, which is starting in 2 weeks, over at Skeff's Pub. Now, I know nobody knows where Skeff's Pub is, but I'm going to give you a general idea because all I'm going to do is say the city and you're going to know, but not everybody else. So Skeff's Pub is in Cumberland, Rhode Island. And guess what else is in Cumberland, Rhode Island?
Deja vu?
Deja vu, that would be the Friendly Tap.
Oh, Timmy White's Bar.
Timmy White's Bar. And
nice.
From what I understand, it's like 2 minutes down the road. So Wednesday nights before I hit Skeff's, I'm going to the Tap.
Cool.
Because you know what? If we, like me and you, if we can get in there, You know, I'm gonna work my negotiating magic because we are definitely. I promise you, mark my words. It might not be this year. It might not even be a couple months from now, but it is going to happen. I am going to do what I can to get us in there, and we are going to have Tim White on live, and he's going to give us a lot. He's going to give us some stories.
I'm with it.
I know you're with it. That's why I said it.
I would love to meet Tim White. I would love to meet Tim White.
But I digress. Shout out to my boss, Rick. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It might not be radio, but guess what? It's the next best thing, and it's what I do. So shout out to Rick. Thank you very much. You Ben Stiller looking motherfucker. He does look like Ben Stiller. I'll talk to you about that off there. But anyways, we have reached the end of our show. It's been a fun ride tonight. I mean, if you're not jet lagged already, go grab yourself a drink and you'll feel like you are, or whatever you partake in. And we're going to come at you next week with, could it be? Top 50. We've been working on these lists. It looks like we lost somebody, but you know what? If it just has to be mine and his list, then it's going to be mine and his list. He's got his. Mine's right here. I can't share screen with that because I don't want to spoil it.
Actually, you can't read any of that. But that's my fifth. This is final.
That's yours. No, final is on this computer, and I can't. Final. Because if I share screens, people are gonna read it, and I can already hear like final 50 right here. And now, so
no order, but my final 50 right there.
That's right. So I think we're gonna have to put it in order. I think.
No, it's gonna go in order, but I'll just have my final 50, and then I'll put. Look, like I said, the only one I have in order is number one.
Right. Number one, I already know this is gonna be a fun couple of shows because there's no damn way we're gonna get this done in one night.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
I say next week we just go over it.
We're gonna go over it. Yep.
We're gonna lay it out, and then we'll rank between the both of us the following week after we kick and punch and scream and throw chairs and all that other shit at each other.
All this name calling and telling everybody how bad they suck because we don't agree with them because right about this. And again, you guys can chime in. I already know that everybody will chime in because that's what we do here. And, as per usual, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your people. We're a show for the fans, by the fans. We do this every Thursday night. He's pointing to you guys for a reason. We ain't doing this, And we're doing this for you. That's right. See, I'm going to give him a solo screen on that one. And you know what? We might have a guest appearance at our commercial break. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Mooney? Is it going to be his lordship again, or is it going to be Mean? Woo! By golly, Gene.
Maybe the GOAT himself.
Maybe the GOAT himself who might be coming back.
I can't know. It's confirmed. We are getting Todd Pettengill on June 13th. Yes, we are getting Todd motherfucking Pettengill on June 13th. Yes.
I got some stuff in the works in the background for guess wise. I don't want to say it on air because I want to keep everybody guessing. But I promise you, if I can book these and confirm these, it's gonna be it's gonna get interesting. It's gonna get interesting real quick. But until next week, guys, get your popcorn ready, as T.O. says, because we got a top 50 to go over.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
Can't wait for next week.
For Willie Rich, I'm Dan. Dig it. See ya.